Hi everyone, in today's video we're customizing another Loungefly bag. In this set we only have one left to do, so let's get into it. This bag started out as a Starry Night Disney Sidekicks theme. It's been so long that I've had this bag, honestly I don't remember what retailer I got it from, but figure I probably paid half off for it, around $35. And we'll be turning this bag into Onward theme. I love this movie so much. I did make this print on my phone. I wanted to make sure I had all my favorite characters on it, and with that, let's begin. As I warned in previous videos, if you haven't seen this movie, turn this one off, go watch that, and then come back to this video because there are spoilers ahead. The general idea behind this movie was that long ago, magic was widespread. Magic was hard to master, but everyone used it every day. However, invention started leading to easier way of doing things, which led to more people using technology and less using magic, bringing us to the present day of the movie. Ian Lightfoot and his older brother Barley are our two main characters of the movie. Ian's basically the cautious one of the two, and then Barley's kind of like a fun, free-spirited person, and he loves Quest of Yore, which is basically a Dungeons and Dragons game, but it's based on true magical history.
By the laws of Yore, I must dub thee a man today. Kneel before me.
That's okay.
Their dad passed away when Ian was just an infant, so he never really got to know his dad. However, for his 16th birthday, their dad actually left behind a special gift for both of them. It wasn't to be given to them until they both were over 16 years old.
I have a gift from your dad. He just said to give you this when you were both over 16.
And what's the gift? It was a wizard staff. Along with the staff was a phoenix gem and a visitation spell, which when recited would actually bring the dad back from the dead and he'd be able to hang out with his boys for 24 hours, which for Ian, that's great. He finally will be able to meet his dad, and Barley would be able to say goodbye to his dad since he never got that closure.
No way! It's a wizard staff. This spell brings him back. For one whole day, Dad will be back.
What? Back to life? That's not possible.
It is with this.
I'm gonna meet Dad.
Barley being the wizard enthusiast of the two, he tries to do the spell over and over again. However, it just doesn't work, so they kind of give up. And then later that same night, the staff on its own starts shaking. So Ian grabs it and he starts to recite the spell, and it's working. And the dad's shoes, his pants, they all appear. And it just as his shirt's about to appear, Ian begins losing his footing and his brother rushes in. Needless to say, the gem explodes from the staff and we're left with half a dad. Now, obviously the boys don't want to hang out with half a dad, so they decide they have to go on a quest to find a new phoenix gem, so that way they can complete the spell and have a full dad. Now remember, the spell only lasts for 24 hours, so the boys have less than that amount of time to find the gem, complete the spell, and hope to meet their dad in his entirety before he disappears.
We only have 24 hours to bring the rest of him back.
Until then, ta-da!
Oh, that's great. Dad, you look just like I remember.
As a little side note, the brothers don't really have a close bond since they are so different in personality, but having this common goal of bringing their dad back unites them so that they can venture on this quest together. Barley uses his knowledge of the Quest of Yore game basically as their guidance in order to find the Phoenix Gem. They find out that they have to go to Raven's Point, and along their journey, they definitely run into some obstacles. Like when Barley's van, which he calls Guinevere, runs out of gas, he ends up having to pull over. He tries to guide Ian to do a growth spell because he does have a container of gas. Ipso facto, you make it bigger, the droplets of gas are bigger, and they can fill up the tank. Barley tries to guide Ian to do the spell, and he actually messed up and shrank Barley.
Get it! It worked! The can is huge! And the van is huge! And you're... Oh no.
So the three of them, Ian, Barley, and the stuffed version of the dad, go into a gas station where the three of them bump into a pixie biker gang.
You got a problem, Shane?
And needless to say, the dad actually bumps into their bikes and it knocks them all over. Complete chaos breaks out, so the boys have to run away. And remember, Barley's miniature, so he can't drive. And I should mention, Ian is not comfortable with driving. He's already failed a lesson, but basically he's thrown in the deep end and has to drive. But luckily for him, his brother's there and he guides him and he gives him like verbal direction along the way, and they're able to escape the biker gang. That's one thing I really like about this movie, is that even though Barley's kind of like the irresponsible one of the two, even though he's the older brother, through this journey, he's always looking after Ian, and since he's the one who knows all the spells and what to do, their bond becomes closer with every spell Barley teaches Ian, and how together they figure out solutions to any problems they encounter. I should also mention that if and when the boys do find the Phoenix Gem, once they get a hold of it, there's a curse surrounding it where a rock dragon comes out and, attacks the whole thing. And the only thing that can defeat the rock dragon is a manticore's sword, which is actually a side plot to this movie. So while the boys are on their quest, their mom is actually trying to catch up to them. She's basically 5 steps behind their every move, and she's actually paired up with the manticore, who once was brave and feared, but with the progression of time and increase of laziness, She became a general manager of her once tavern, now a restaurant, but the Manticore has an epiphany and she's now back to her old warrior self.
If it's adventure you seek, you've come to the right tavern.
And the pair of them locate the Manticore's sword, and their goal is to catch up to the boys before they find the gem and the rock dragon's curse is released. I know that was a lot at once, but it needed to be said, so I hope you followed it. The boys eventually get to the spot of the mountain where they anticipate it being Raven's Point. However, they realize Raven's Point isn't actually a location, but instead there's Raven statues that are pointing in certain directions. So after following all the points, they come across a relic, and it guides them to follow the nearby water channel until it ends. Ironically enough, the boys do this, and when they finally come out at the end, they're actually in their town center. So imagine a full day of adventure just to end up where you started from. As you can imagine, Ian feels defeated, so he kind of just takes his stuffed version of his dad to like a side of a cliff just to kind of sit and ponder, and Barley in the meantime doesn't want to let Ian down, so he's like searching all over where this relic key can go. Good news, he finds out where it goes, he inserts it, and he's able to get the Phoenix Gem. So of course, since they have the gem, the rock dragon curse is released, and good timing on the mom and the Manticore's part because they come swooping in with the sword and they begin battling with it. Ian hears the commotion, he sees what's going on, so when he goes to help, Barley shows him the gem, and together they go off to the side to perform the spell to bring their dad back, while the mom and the Manticore hold off the rock dragon. With the wizard staff and the new Phoenix Gem, Ian successfully recites the visitation spell and the rest of their dad starts appearing, but before he's whole, the boys notice that their mom and the Manticore need help fighting off the rock dragon. One of the boys must go help, and one can stay behind to meet their dad for the couple of minutes that he has left before the 24 hours ends. Barley volunteers to go help fight so Ian can finally meet their dad. However, Ian stops him because he knows how much it would mean to Barley to be able to say goodbye to his father and get the closure he always looked for.
I'll go distract it.
What? No! You go and say goodbye.
What?
I had someone who looked out for me. Someone who pushed me to be more than I ever thought I could be. I never had a dad, but I always had you.
Ian had a list of everything he wanted to do with their dad in the 24 hours he would be with them, but he realized he was able to do it all with Barley. In a sense, Barley was his father figure he always needed, but he never knew he already had. Fast forward, Ian defeats the rock dragon, it crumbles around him, and in the last moment we see Ian peer through the rubble, and in the distance, far away, we see the shape of his dad complete, and a hug shared between the dad and Barley as the sun sets, and the dad fades away. So sad. But Barley lets Ian know that their dad said he's proud of the man that Ian became, to which Ian replies it's because of Barley's guidance. Oh, I'm not crying, you're crying. Then the movie ends with a glimpse into the new life as more individuals are practicing using magic, and Ian and Barley are closer than ever. The end. Such a good movie, definitely go watch it. And with that, let's look at the completed backpack. And here it is. Let me know how you think it turned out in the comments below. I personally am super happy with it, and I love that I put a pin on it. I don't typically do that, but I might start doing it more. Alright guys, well thanks for hanging out with me today. If you want, feel free to like and subscribe, and until next time, bye friends!